Welcome back, IB Economics students, to this video lecture today on monopoly market structures and the properties and the definitions explained. So, what are some characteristics of a monopolistic or a monopolistic market structure? There are basically these two characteristics and these two properties. So there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Just eight properties we're going to be talking about. Okay. So the first one is pure versus legal versus natural monopoly. What's the difference? There's different types of monopolies. Okay. A pure monopoly basically means that 100% of the market share, 100% of the market is contributed by just one firm. Okay. A legal monopoly, on the other hand, is a little bit different. A legal monopoly refers to it is legally required that only one firm or a few firms exist. Now, what are some examples of legal monopolies? For example, in the pharmaceutical industry, companies could file for patents, and patents protect their drug recipes from being copied by other firms. Therefore, the legal power is set. Therefore, the monopolistic power is set by the legal standards and the legal patents, because of patents protects other. Because patents protect other firms are copying and acts as a high barrier of entry. Okay. Natural monopoly basically means that with economies of scale, it is a lot more profitable and a lot more natural for firms to be monopolistic. For example, within big cities like Taipei or Melbourne or London or New York, it is actually makes most financial sense for cities to only have one water provider and one energy or electric provider. That's because with economies of scale, it is a lot cheaper for one city to only have one electric or one water provider. Different natural monopolies occur. So these are the three main types of monopolies. So what constitutes a monopoly? A monopoly is basically defined as a company that holds 25% or more market share and must hold the majority of market share. So right here, with reference to this pie chart right here, we can see. Okay, this is the U.S. Search engine market distribution. As you can see, 69.3% comes to Google, and 21.3% also goes to Google Images. So basically, Google has a near majority, and also YouTube is owned by Google. So Google Images, and YouTube is all subsidiaries of Google companies. So therefore, Google has a strong monopoly on the search engine. So a monopoly does not mean 100% of the market share must go to you, but it has to mean that the majority of market share, in some senses, above 25%, you could be constituted as a monopoly. Okay, so that also brings us to the next point. One dominant seller, okay, where one seller has the majority of the market share or the majority of the market influence. As a result of being a dominant market seller, they have price making abilities. They can set the price. Okay, because the majority of the market is held by just one firm. The one firm could decide the prices. The one firm could raise the prices, and consumers, if they're reliant on it, they cannot change it. And with one firm could lower the prices, and consumers could just pay less. Now, an example of that is in the pharmaceutical industry. For example, insulin. Okay, there are no substitute goods for insulin. If you have type 2 diabetes, you basically need insulin. And for example, if insulin, or the recipe for insulin, is protected by patents, that of which constitutes a legal monopoly, what if insulin is protected by patents, then consumers, because it is a highly inelastic good, okay, consumers will really need to have insulin or else they're going to die. So they have price making abilities. If they charge $2, consumers must buy. If they charge $2,000, consumers also must buy, or else they're just going to die, because there are no substitute goods. So that also brings us to the next point, which is a unique product. A unique product refers to how the product is unique, and usually it does not have close substitutes, because if it has close substitutes, then people will just go to another good instead of going to the market. Okay, high barriers of entry and high barriers of exit grants the monopolies their power. It is the source of the monopolistic power. Without high barriers of entry and exit, new firms will enter, and therefore taking away the supernormal profit. So high barriers of entry and high barriers of profit, and high barriers of entry and high barriers of entry prevents subnormal or breaking even profits to occur. Therefore, in the long run, there will be supernormal profits as well as in the short run. So I hope this video is helpful in clarifying some properties of the monopolistic economy, as well as giving some characteristics and properties of a monopolistic structure. So I hope this video is helpful, and I hope to see you guys in the next video, where we will be graphing monopolistic structures.